Hello, welcome to Blue Harvest History, and here we are with Woolworths 100 years on the high street. We're going to have a quick look at this. I've been doing a lot of Woolworths finding, spot the Woolworths. I've been doing the series of videos. We're just going to quickly go through. I'm not going to name them all. We're not going to show all the history and all the where the Woolworths are. There's a lot of pictures of Woolworths in here. And we're just going to quickly go through it as I am doing the companion pieces to Woolworths, and it's interesting to read about the history of Woolworths. It's a big part of all us lives. It was, and reading about it is so interesting. And Marks and Spencer's was first in Leeds, and the first Leeds store for Woolworths was number 5, and we have looked at that already. 1910 that opened up. So yeah, it does later on gives you all the opening times for all the stores. So we're just quickly going to look through and take a look at the pictures and talk a bit about Woolworths. I'm not going to give you a lot of history because I want to do that when I go to the different Woolworths. I do intend to go to a few more and find it. There are a few more in the area. I want to go further afield and find more. I've even been to the Cyprus when it used to be Woolworths in Cyprus, and it was Woolworth. It was still Woolworth. It wasn't Woolworths. I think it changed to Woolworths in about 1980. It was FW Woolworth for the longest time. Then it went to Woolworth, and then went to Woolworths. So obviously it's an American store. Started out in America. I think first went to Liverpool. I think it was Liverpool was the first store in this country, and then they've just branched out all over the place. What got me is getting my head around. Every store obviously wasn't self-service. You had to go in and ask the person behind the counter for something until Woolworths came along, and then it was a self-service store, and that is why most people remember people stealing things from Woolworths. Woolworths is most known for having things stolen because it was the first self-service store. So the lion's heads that you can probably see in most Woolworths buildings. So if you spot a building that you think is a Woolworths, have a look, see if there's a lion's head on there, and there should be for the most of the time. So yeah, these are just, I mean, I always say you can spot a Woolworths, and you can. I mean, you look at all these, obviously they say Woolworths outside them, but you look at the buildings, they're all almost alike, with the shop fronts, the windows. You know what I mean? They all look alike, don't they? If you take that Woolworths away from the top, you know that's a Woolworths. So yeah, I got this book. I got told about this book when I was in Colville, and we were doing the Palatoy walk through Colville and Colville history. And I've been to Colville before, and so I know there was a Woolworths there. I wasn't there when I was there, but I spotted the Woolworths, and I thought, I'm going to film it. Oh, toy department, yay! I'm going to film it. So I did, and the guy that was taking the tour, I said to him, it was Woolworths, wasn't it? He said, yeah. And he told me about this book. So I went and got it straight away. Look at that, garden centre. That's a Woolworths sign I remember. So we've got FW Woolworths and Woolworths. A Woolworth there. So you don't. I can remember when we go to Woolworths. I remember going to Woolworths all the time, and in countless number of cities or towns, and you never expect it to shut down. You never would. I mean, look how similar that to that is. They all looked alike, so that's why it's easy to spot them, and the architecture is fantastic on them. You'll always get this very similar architecture because it's the same architect that's building these stores. But obviously they're moving into places as well, like little shops. I mean, they all look so alike. So if you spot a Woolworths and you think, oh, I've been there, please leave it in the comments. I mean, there's not. I'm going to the Batley one. There's not a Batley one picture in here. There's not a Dewsbury one, but that could be the Batley one because it looks exactly the same. They all look exactly. I mean, look at the difference. It's amazing. So it's a very, very interesting book. Very interesting. And that's in Blackpool. That. There was a number in Blackpool, which I would like to go to Blackpool and do some filming there of the ones. The one by the tower. There was one further down. I think there was 3 or 4 different Woolworths in Blackpool. There's during the war when it got bombed. Look at that. You know, after the war, when all the buildings were bombed, they moved into this little store and got eggs in the window. Yeah, and Woolworths having food. Because I'm reading another book at the moment about the war, where it's like a diary of the shopkeeper during the war, and he's in the local area, and they say going to Woolworths and getting food from Woolworths, and apart from pick and mix, I can't remember food in Woolworths. So back in the day, they actually had food as well. I don't know what year they stopped doing food. Obviously, they've got the restaurants and the cafes in there as well. But yeah, supermarket. You don't look Woolworths self-service. I don't think as Woolworths. I think it's like not as a grocery store. But there's the Leeds one we did last week, where it changed. We've got the escalators in there. You can go back and look at that if you want, if you would. Give it a watch, give it a like. That'd be nice. So yeah, they actually invented pick and mix at Woolworths. Everybody uses it now. The record department. And they tried to. I think they tried to do too much later on. Obviously, they were all over the place. It's amazing how many stores they had, and now there's none. Quite ridiculous. And it did shut down 6 months before its 100th anniversary. Believe it or not. I think they overextended themselves because they tried to go into Do It All, and they bought B&Q. Yeah, I think they tried to go too big. They changed. Look at that. I can't remember changing to that, but apparently they changed to that colour. I can't remember that at all. That's what I remember. Just that. And I think we must have taken them for advantage, really, and expected them to be there forever. That's what I remember. The pick and mix and the records and oh man. Yeah, they're overreaching themselves. I'm yet to read all the story of it, but yeah, once I read it, I think it's gonna make a bit more sense. Like Big W, they started having this massive Woolworths, and you know, it just didn't work. And that's it. It was bought out by Iceland. Pound stretcher, well worth it. And we've been in the Hetman White one, where it's all out stock in there. First Big W opens in Edinburgh. All this, look, Woolworths buys B&Q, just overstretched themselves. And this is all the stores from 4,000, over 4,000 stores. Colville 1932 there. So that is all of them. And then they went to like Kids Store, Furnishing World, Foot Locker, Shoppers World. I can't remember Shoppers World, but we had one in Leeds, but I can't remember that. And you know, so I think they just tried to go too far. So we've got Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Zimbabwe, and Cyprus, which I've been in. So these are just all the notes there from the story. So I'm gonna fully read that. I started reading it, but I just thought I'd show you the book. And if you want to get this, I did get it on Amazon. I think that they're trying to sell them for £50, but I got this for £35. It's published by the Historic England Society, historicengland.org.uk. So if you want to check that out, they've probably got them on there. They've probably got links to them. But Amazon, don't know if they've still got any for £35 if you want to buy this book, because it is well worth. I mean, this on the cover is Blackpool. That's a Blackpool one, because obviously the Blackpool Tower there. So yeah, I want to go there and spot that Woolworths. So yeah, if you like that, please thumb the video up, please share it out, please tell everybody, and we will go to Blackpool and we will film that. So you need to subscribe. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.